Here we are again, video number 3. These are impromptu. I think of what I'm going to say when I get here. But anyway, we'll try to start where we left off with the last one. The reason I picked this location is because behind me, the building you see is a granary. That granary was here when I was a kid. I sort of suspicion it was built by my great-granddad. It's about the only building left here from the original buildings that I remember. This where we're at right now was sort of the beginning of the barnyard, and on the right was the granary, but over here where you can't see, there was a pig pen and a small lot for where the pigs were, and a boiler which I remember we used to cook feed for the pigs in. Over here on my right was, as I remember, 2 small buildings. One of them my pony was in. That's where we kept her. And there was a small lot there that she could get in. Then behind that was another barn that was a horse barn. And it also had a bullpen in it and some pens in it for calves. Then back where you see the silo, there was an old wood silo. And I can remember that old wood silo. But Dad had that tore down and then built what you see now as that cement stave silo. And I remember, of course, when they built that. And back of that was the barn where we milked cows. It had stanchions in there. And where we kept hay. There was some mows there where and I can remember when we put loose hay in there and we had to mow it back by hand with pitchforks. And so they'd bring the wagons up here, put the forks in it, and lift that up and with cables, and it would go into the mows and drop it. Then you had to mow it back. It was a lot of work. And I can remember when they used horses to do that. Of course, I'm old. I can remember way back. Then on back of that was another barn that was where we kept the sheep. And then later on, my mother had the chicken coop built, which you can't see. I'll take a picture of that sometime. And we always had chickens there and produced eggs and so on. So, but what's interesting is all of the buildings have fallen down except for this old granary. And of course the silo, which was sort of a modern building really. But of all the old original buildings, other than the house, the only thing left standing is this old granary. And that's sort of I left them there and all the remains just so I'd have memories. So I'm sure a lot of people thought I should have had it cleaned up. But I like to think about the way it was when I was a kid. And it doesn't bother me that it's sort of a junk area. It's sort of nice, really, because there's grass out there and trees have grown up. And wildlife lives there. Deer stay out there some. And so to me it means something. I'm sure to anybody else it don't mean nothing at all. So that's sort of the story we've told tonight, although there's other stories that I remember. I remember getting bunted. Those sheep, if you didn't watch out when you was a kid, the buck sheep would bunch you. And he'd sometimes hit you when you didn't know he was coming, and I've been bunted awful hard with a sheep. You learn your lesson after a while to pay attention. I remember getting that right out here to our right. The sheep was we had a herd of sheep, and he must have thought I was a danger to him or something, because he hit me awful hard. And after that, I was more careful. And I remember climbing this silo when we've had to fill silo, and you had to climb up there and get the top of the pipe into the opening and open that opening up. So that was sort of scary, really. Things like that. And of course, I remember baling hay after I got big enough to do stuff. And I remember also getting in the mow mowed away loose with a pitchfork. I did a lot of work back here. You didn't have to worry about a method of developing work ethics. There was lots of work to do, and you learned how. That's all I'm going to do right tonight, and I'll try to get better at this. Hope you enjoy this thing. It's sort of fun for me, so I'm going to do it whether you enjoy it or not. That's all for tonight. Thank you.